I'm so excited because my special guest today is Dean Lewis. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
This is your first time in Dallas, right?
First time, yeah.
What do you think so far?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I sort of just roll into town because we finish a show, we get on a bus, we roll into town, we basically go into the hotel room, have a shower, and then we're just doing like interviews. So what I see is kind of just from the car from station to station. But I mean, we just got here and I saw the American Airlines Arena. Is that what you call it?
American Airlines Center, yeah.
Center. And I saw the outside. That was cool. But everyone's really friendly here. I noticed people seem quite nice.
It's the South, so everybody is very friendly.
Yeah,
you
which is
just
great.
cannot get on the interstate because you might die on the interstate.
Is that because the cars are big? The cars are huge here.
The cars are big, and the interstate, we have sky highways. It's highways on highways on highways.
Oh, right.
Got to be a little careful with that.
Yeah, right.
So I have a question for you. Your latest single, Be All Right, love it. But I want to know who broke your heart and why you wrote that song.
Yeah, well, it's a weird song because it's actually about a few different relationships, right? Like, so I
together in one, you've mended them.
Yeah, I did. So there's a few things. Like, it was something that happened to me, and also some crazy stories that my friends and family told me over the years. Like, when you get a friend that tells you something that happened to them. And so I sort of combined those things together. And then in the chorus, I sing about how my older brother, when I sing, and my friend said, I know you love it, but it was my older brother who basically just said, you'll be fine, put your phone away. We had a drink. And he's like, just give it some time, you'll be sweet. We just had a chat. Like, so I combined all those things and put them in the song and it became Be All Right.
Do you go back into that emotion of that time when you wrote that song, whatever relationships that you had inspiration to write it?
Yeah, well, I mean, the actual thing that was real to me in that song happened 6 years ago. So it's hard. I don't care. Like, I don't care about.
Done. You've
I'm
moved
so,
on at
so
this
moved
point.
on. But like, even when because I recorded the song like 4 times. So when I recorded like the final version that we actually ended up releasing I recorded that about a year ago. And so I'm singing about something that happened at that point 5 years ago. So you just sort of, I guess, you imagine newer things that are painful to try to get the emotion out. But when I'm doing it live, look, it doesn't really take me back to that place, but I always think that it's always a special moment because you've got fans singing along, you're on stage. It sort of just becomes its own thing, not necessarily taking me back to that thing, but it's definitely special when I do it and I go to a place, I think, which is great.
You're feeding off that energy
Absolutely.
of the crowd.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, you're from Australia. When you released a song in Australia, it went straight to the top of the charts, right?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, and
most Australian, weird. That's great.
No, I've been saying this, but Australian artists usually don't go. Like, it's very rare for an Australian artist to go number one in Australia because we have so much, American and English music, and like it's like I guess it's in a way competing with those songs. It's very hard to, because they're big artists. So for us to go number one there it was awesome.
Cool. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, did you have any inspiration? I know it's a totally kind of different genre, but Iggy Azalea, how do you feel about her? Being a crossover artist coming to the States, kind of what you're doing now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does she
sure.
like lead the way for Australian artists, or?
No, I mean, I'd say more like maybe Sia. Sia 5 Sauce and Vance Joy did some stuff over here, which is cool. Iggy's more, I mean, she kind of raps in like an American accent. I think she's very like American. She's been here for a long time. I think she moved over when she was very young to America.
16, yeah.
16. So, I don't really look at her as a thing that I'm doing, but she's doing her own thing. I think it's cool.
Now, since you say you're doing something different, you're not living here in the States, you're staying in Australia?
Well, I'm sort of living nowhere right now because I basically
on the tour bus.
Yeah, because we packed up all my apartment before I left, and I basically am kind of living on the road for the next year because we're kind of touring until March next year all around the world. Because Be All Right opened up doors in Europe and like in Belgium and in Ireland, it did well. So we can kind of now go and play shows in all these countries. It's really cool.
Do you think the fans in the States are crazier than the fans over in Europe?
The difference is probably that the fans in Europe just sing with an accent. Do you know what I mean? Like in Germany, they'll sing like I know you love her, but it's over. And they kind of say that.
You're like, what?
That's the only difference. Like the crowds, that's what's been really cool for me is like I play back home in Australia. It's obviously much bigger, and we're sort of just getting started in America. But like the crowds are still they feel the same. Do you know what I mean? Like they're still just all happy, screaming the lyrics and smiling or crying if they're getting emotional. And it's like, it's sort of the same all around the world.
How does that make you feel when a fan, that means they're really into your music and they're like a number one fan? Because if they're crying, they're not just there because their friend said, hey, come to the show with me. It's because they really want to come see you.
Yeah. Look, I always think when I'm writing songs, I can only speak for me, I guess, but like I write songs, it's kind of a bit of a selfish thing. Do you know what I mean? You're writing it because it's real and it's also I think it sounds good. I want it to be good. And then I'm never thinking, like I never thinking, how can I make people connect with the song? Like, what could I do? So when people do connect with it, it's almost like after the song's released, you see this stuff and people feel like they're not alone. And it's an amazing thing. It's not the reason I do it, but it sort of becomes a reason once the song's out there in the world. And that's sort of the really amazing side effect of it. You see people crying or, smiling or whatever and connecting with it.
Because it's relatable, especially I think it's great that you're literally writing down raw emotion of whatever you experience, whether it's happy, sad. It's the same thing similar in radio. You just talk about your life and then the reaction of people saying, I can relate to that. It's just this amazing feeling. So I think it's great that you're just writing your raw emotion.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad it's working. Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess I don't like songs when it sounds like there's like 7 people in a room and they've got the perfect syllabic sentence, all the syllables all match up, right. and the line's so perfect. I like it when it's a bit raw, and like I got really inspired by Bruce Springsteen, like Dancing in the Dark, like how he writes lyrics and that, like how he talks about how he's like, the radio's on and he's moving around the place and he hates his face and looking in the mirror. So I like that. I like, Be Alright, I use that. Like I'm just talking first person, really simple things, and I guess songs that I like to listen to do that. So I want to write songs like that as well.
So besides your music, what's an interesting fact about you that your fans don't know about you? Like you could go hipster and be like, oh, I hate Starbucks. What's something in your normal day life that your fans don't know about you that's interesting?
Well, I'm a game. Like I used to be a gamer.
Really?
I'm a really good gamer. Like back in the day, and me and my brother competed in this like tournament. We came like for Halo, the Halo 2. We won this competition and like we beat everyone else out in Australia, which was incredible. So I did that, which was awesome. And like, I don't have as much time to play games now because of obviously what's going on the road, but I'm massively into like gaming and Call of Duty. And when I go home on the bus, I'll like take my laptop out and like watch streams on Twitch TV and stuff like that.
You watch the streams, and that's when you're not even playing,
it's
right?
Like,
that's how I know you're about that life.
Oh, it's pathetic, but it's the best, And
but you love it.
I love it. It's like the way that it's like watching sport for me. And I can just tune out and just zone out for a bit and watch this and not think about music or think about what I have to do for the next day because there's so much stuff happening. It's good to
you have to decompress. I mean, you're on tour, the pressure to release new music and, still perform the old music and go, like you said, go to that place of the emotion. That's energy draining sometimes.
It is.
People don't realize that when you're up on that stage, I mean, that is all of your energy. I mean, everything out of you. So, I love that you have something that you can decompress. I'm not really about watching Halo and all that.
Yeah. No, totally. And it's like also you don't really have as much time during the day. Like I probably have an hour to myself every day. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I used to write songs because I had nothing else to do. Do you know what I mean? So now it's like, I haven't actually picked up the guitar to write a song in a month, which is so weird for me because I'm always writing stuff. But when you're doing so much stuff, like you're so drained that you can't pick up a guitar. Like that'd be the worst ideas ever. So so it's going to be interesting.
Now, are you going to make I'm assuming that's a big deal, especially when you're a creative person and music is your creative outlet.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the time to pick up the guitar, are you going to make time? Because that's going to also drain you in other areas of your energy that you still kind of have to keep up when you're on tour.
Totally. I mean, I have so many song ideas from the past year that like I haven't even like fleshed out. You know what I mean? And there's always, even though like the last month I haven't, which is very rare, I can pick up the guitar and then all of a sudden there'll be a bunch of ideas. But there's kind of, I'm always excited about the next thing that I'm doing. And I've kind of got 3 ideas that I've kind of had for the last couple of months that I'm really obsessed with. So, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to because I'm assuming you're going to put those into singles and then they'll become another album.
Yes.
But your new album is dropping this month, right? Do you have an exact release date?
Yeah. It's in March 22, which is in like 9 days. And I'm really, really excited about it. Like it's called The Place We Knew. And they're just 12 songs that I'm really proud of.
Are they all personal? You said you're writing from personal experience with Be Alright. They're all like that as well?
Yeah, they're all like, there's a range of different styles and stuff like that, but it's definitely, they all start from like a real place for sure.
And you're going to be performing all those tonight, right? Here in Dallas?
Yeah, I'll perform about, I think 80% of them and then play some of the songs from the EP that people want to hear, which has been cool. And I can't wait because I remember I used to play gigs and I had this song called Waves that did well in Australia, but over here in America, no one really knows it.
That was your first single, right?
My first single, and like I would, playing shows without an album out, it's like they don't know they don't know 70% of the songs you're playing. So I can't wait till like I can play all the songs they know. Because
they're singing along, and then you're really feeding off that energy.
Because right now we have to space it out. Like one they know, one they don't, one they know. But I can't wait to be like, they know all these songs, all my fans know them all, and we can just go, what's the best set? It's going to be, and people talk about that when you're touring with an album out. Apparently it's a completely different thing. So
really? Do you think it's a completely different thing?
Well, I think so. I think when it's all out and they know all the lyrics and they can sing along to every song, not just like 5 of them because they don't know the rest.
Right.
And I used to have that, like before I released Be Alright, I was playing it acoustically for a year and people would kind of be listening and I'd be like, oh, that's pretty good. But why don't you play the one that we know? You know, like Waves. And now it's funny like how
they want to hear the single.
They want to hear the singles and the ones that they know. And so I'm excited for them to know them, really.
Right. And that's when you get super fans. And that's when you really start building up your career because when the fans become the super fans and they know, things that are not on the radio. And like you said, they're singing along to every single song you're singing. That's gotta be an amazing feeling.
It's going to be so amazing. I can't wait for it, actually. Really can't
I'm sure you're there. And I want to ask you one question before you go. So my bucket list is to go to Australia, but I'm scared to death of spiders. And I know the spiders in Australia are like this big.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an experience with a spider? I don't really want to know, but I do want to know.
Yeah, in Australia, there's
Did you almost die one time?
Well, no, this is what they're called huntsman spiders, and they're about as big as your hand. But they don't bite. They can bite, but they're not poisonous. But they'll run away from you. But maybe
they'll run you're talking like they have 2 legs and they're running. That's why I can't.
But about 4 times a year, you'll probably find one in your room. And they're usually on the walls.
In your room?
In your room, yeah.
They're this big?
No, they're about
I would have a heart attack.
Maybe a little bit smaller than hand, but it is freaky. I don't like spiders either, but only a few times a year. It's not like they're every day. It's very rare, but
Well, what are those times a year so I know not to go to Australia?
I mean, the thing is, you never know if they're crawling under your bed. That's what's kind of creeps me out.
I've never had that. I can never go.
I've never had that.
I'm never going. No, I'll see you here in the States. I'm never going
I'll see you
to
next
Australia.
time.
And you also have crocodiles in the ocean there.
Yeah, the crocodiles are insane. The sharks are pretty intense. But look, nothing really. I mean, the thing about sharks and all that stuff is the statistics are so low. I think they're scary looking, but it's like Florida, right? Isn't Florida they have big great whites?
Well, Florida they do have gators, but they're not in the ocean. They're in lakes and swamps and stuff.
Yeah, but then you got the great whites in Florida as well on the beach. Apparently, you get the big sharks out there and stuff.
There's sharks in the ocean.
Yeah, I think if you go to Florida and you can survive that, then come to Australia. Yeah.
Is there anything so those are my fears in Australia? Do you have any fears about the States? Is there anything scary besides?
No, I love America. I love all the food here. I love the American style diners. I just love it. I'm just having a ball, and everyone's so. I love the accent. We grew up watching American TV in Australia, so it's super normal to be here for us, and almost I guess it's exciting because it feels like this is where everything's sort of happening in the entertainment industry or whatever, So it's great.
That's interesting to me because I love Australian accents, right? And
right.
So it's rare. It's not. You said it's normal for you guys to be here and hear the American. I think it's a little rare.
Yeah, especially in Dallas, there wouldn't be many Aussies out here. In LA and New York, I think there's quite a few of us. But I think maybe out here, maybe it's a bit more rare.
Yes. So. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. Say your show again tonight. The Trees, 7:00.
Yeah, playing the Trees. Yeah, doors open at 7. It's already sold out, which is crazy. And I can't wait to play.
And your video's out for Be Alright.
Yeah, the video's out on YouTube and all that stuff. And yeah.
And your social media is what? So people that don't know you can come follow you because that's where people.
Yeah.
It's 2019.
No,
Instagram,
totally.
Twitter.
My Instagram's they're all, it's just Dean Lewis Music. And I try to reply to people in the comments as much as I can, although it's kind of getting out of hand now. But
now you have to have someone handle that.
Yeah. But sadly, it's still
me.
That's
a good thing, though.
Yeah. It's good that it's increasing. But I post a lot of silly things on my Instagram, so that's probably the best place to find.
But you know what? Fans love that though, because then they really see the real you.
Yeah.
They don't get to see on the stage. I mean, they know your songs, but they don't. Like I said, they didn't know. I bet you they didn't know that you like to watch Twitch.
No, totally. So yeah, and I love just Instagram storying my life and things that are happening and photos with fans. I love all that stuff.
Well, Dean Lewis, thank you so much for coming in today, and good luck tonight on your show.
Thanks, Lindsay. Cheers.